morning, everyone, and welcome to Weekends with Whitney. We begin this morning in a treehouse, one of the biggest tree houses and certainly one of the nicest in the country. We're going to show you inside this 1,200-foot treehouse, how it came to be, and show you why this is every child and probably every adult's dream as well. Plus, take a look at what's in this tree. It's a hive of 20,000 honeybees. It was in a vacant lot next to Maggio Motors this week, so we called in the Bee Busters. We'll show you how Ernie and Stuart saved the day, captured the queen bee, and transported thousands of worker bees. And find out how an old cottonseed mill is given new life in new roads. Then we'll head into the kitchen for crab cakes Le Creole style. It's a recipe you'll want for sure. But first, with the explosion of cable television, there's nearly a show on any subject you would want, including building tree houses. Pete Nelson has a show, Treehouse Masters, on Animal Planet. And recently, he was here in Baton Rouge building his biggest tree house yet. He built it for the CEO and founder of Raising Cane's, Todd Graves. And this morning, you get your own private tour. If you've ever dreamed of having a tree house, this one might just be the one in your wildest of dreams. It's 1,200 square feet of pure fun, fantasy, and amazing features. Raising Cane's business manager, Jordan Piazza, says this has long been a dream for Todd and his wife.
He's always wanted one, and when he was younger, he built some kind of forts himself when he was younger with some friends. And, Gwen wanted one as well, obviously, growing up. So they kind of decided, hey, we're going to do this, and who better than get the best? That's what they called Pete. So you're going to do it, let's do it right. And they did it right, as you can tell.
This is the living room, complete with its own bar, skylight, wraparound windows, electricity, surround sound, AC and heating, even indoor plumbing. With a budget of $200,000, the builders and designers went all out. But they also wanted to give it Louisiana charm and character. So they combined old and new materials, using reclaimed and recycled items where they could, especially with the wood. Some of this came from a house being torn down in New Orleans. Outside the living room is a huge dining table with an enormous, one-of-a-kind chandelier. This treehouse even has its own 30-foot bridge, so you can go from the living space over there into the party space with the disco ball over here. A signature Raising Cane's disco ball. You can dance under it or over it if you're not acrophobic. Walk back across the swinging bridge and up another set of stairs, and at 23 feet off the ground, there's an art studio. But at night, it transforms into a bedroom by pulling out the Murphy bed. This stained glass window behind it was salvaged from a New Orleans church after Hurricane Katrina. The bedroom's tin roof is also reclaimed, and on a rainy night, it guarantees a sleeping experience like no other. But the treehouse doesn't stop here. These are the steps to the crow's nest. Up here, you're 35 feet tall. And if you ever wanted to feel like a nested bird, this will be the place. Up here, you can see everything from Tiger Stadium, wow, to Sorority Row. The view straight down, however, is a little frightening, at least for me. Not only is this treehouse high, it's heavy, 75,000 pounds. So a sophisticated system of cables, bolts, railings, posts, and concrete helps support it. It took a team of experts a month to build all of this. No detail was overlooked. Of course, the treehouse is fun in and of itself, but then they added some fun factors like slides! Woo! Fast slides. It's the perfect place for kids to be kids and adults to be kids again. Surprised I didn't knock you down. Now tell me this, who spends more time up here, the kids or the parents?
I think so far it's definitely been the parents, but I think the kids are starting to make their mark and let them know that it is a treehouse. But Todd and Gwen, they're just like big kids.
It's the perfect place to raise some cane. Speaking of trees, take a look at this wild honeybee hive hanging from this one. It's the Bee Busters to the rescue. How they box them up, move them out, and what happens next as Weekends with Whitney continues.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River, here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
Discover your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors. With 10,000 square feet of inspired interiors, it's easy to bring beauty home. Create a unique interior that reflects your exterior. Translate what you love into where you live. For 60 years, Dixon Smith has refined the art of style, space, and comfort. You're a work of art. Your home should be too. Embrace your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors in the heart of Baton Rouge. Discover Dixon. This segment brought to you by our friends at Wayne Stabler Companies. Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Encountering 20,000 bees in the wild would have most of us running the other way. But not bee busters Stuart and Ernie. Oh no, they ran to it. In fact, everyone nearby was all abuzz. It happened this week in New Roads. And this morning, we find out how they captured the queen and all of her loyal subjects. Honeybees were all abuzz and the buzz in New Roads Wednesday. Folks working at Maggio Motors noticed this huge black cone-shaped sphere hanging nearly 25 feet in a tree right next to the dealership. Owner Clint Maggio knew who could handle this sticky situation.
Who you gonna call?
I remember watching Whitney's show last Sunday with the Bee Busters, and I texted her. She was in New York at the time, and I said, "Would your friends be interested in this beehive?" And she says, "Let me check with them."
Ernie and Stuart were interested, all right. I could feel their excitement all the way in New York. First thing the next morning, they were on the road to New Roads. Kim was already there waiting for them. I was wishing I could catch all the action. I've never seen a hive hijacked. Neither had the folks starting to gather. The owner of JP Electric, Phil Gosserin, even sent over his bucket truck to help in the heist. You might expect Ernie and Stuart to pull out some fancy bee extracting equipment about now. But a cardboard box is all they need. Ernie puts on his protective bee veil. Stuart, who's going to try to get them in the box, opts for no protection. But don't follow his lead. He does have years of experience. This hive has nearly 20,000 honeybees, but there's only one they must have, the queen bee. If they lose her in this capture, all of the other bees will fly after her, and it'll be a complete bust for the bee busters. They know she's up there though, because all of the other bees are swarming around to protect her. Stuart jumps in the bucket. It slowly rises to meet the hive. Some of the worker bees go after Stuart and Ernie, but they keep their cool. Then once the box encases the hive, Stuart cuts the branch they're clinging to. Ernie takes the box, closes it shut, and mission accomplished.
Okay, woo!
But the honeybees certainly aren't making any happy sounds. They're mad. The bee busters are thrilled. Now it's time to get them to their new home in Baton Rouge.
Honey, I'm home.
And there's no honeybees like freebees.
These wooden boxes will become their new home with the right incentives.
First thing we're going to do, we're in this established hive. All we're going to do is get a comb of honey to add to the box to help them have something to eat.
There are movable parts to sweeten the pot.
We're going to go in this hive They've got a lot of brood in here. That's cells that are capped with babies in it. And we're going to take that, put it in there as an incentive for the nurse bees and the bees in general to stay in that hive because they never leave babies.
They use smoke to confuse their alarm pheromones. This makes all the transferring easier and safer for Ernie and Stuart.
Now I'm going to get a frame of brood, but I got to make sure the queen isn't on it. We don't want to move her out. The queen is not on here, so I'm just going to sweep the nurses off. There's a brood. There's a larvae that hasn't been capped yet. It's a baby bee, probably about 10 days from hatching. It's got to be capped. These are pollen, cells full of pollen. Then here's some with honey. So this is an excellent frame to help start them with.
Now that their new home is ready, all that's left is to add that big box of bees. More smoke first, though, to confuse them. Now take a look inside of this.
Wow, that's crazy. How cool is that?
Okay, now what?
Now what?
Yeah, now what?
No specialized equipment for this either. Just dump the honeybees in and bang on the box a bit. Now, look at that little branch that held 20,000 bees. But not all the bees go into the new hive. Some are circling, and the buzzing gets louder.
I don't have my hearing aids, so I don't get scared. I don't hear them.
It can be a little intimidating over here.
Now a little more bribery to seal their new relationship.
The sweeten the pot is a jar of bee syrup, 1-to-1 cane sugar and water.
In just 3 months, the tables will turn.
Honey, honey, how you thrill me.
These new honeybees will feed Ernie and Stuart gallons of sweet honey. Now, don't ever try anything like that yourself unless you're highly trained. Call in the experts, because if just 10% of a hive stung you, you wouldn't survive. Coming up, we stay in New Roads and find out how an old cottonseed mill is given new life. Then we head into the kitchen for crab cakes, La Creole style. It's a delicious recipe we'll share with you as Weekends with Whitney continues. Discover your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors. With 10,000 square feet of inspired interiors, it's easy to bring beauty home. Create a unique interior that reflects your exterior. Translate what you love into where you live. For 60 years, Dixon Smith has refined the art of style, space, and comfort. You're a work of art. Your home should be too. Embrace your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors in the heart of Baton Rouge. Discover Dixon.
Give the gift of fine dining. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering 1 card for 4. La Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, 1 card.
Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Well, today it's all about Easter and Easter egg hunts and church and family gatherings. But next weekend, it's all about Market at the Mill. We're joined by New Roads Mayor Robert Myer. Great to see you, Mayor.
Good to see you again, Whitney.
Thanks so much. Okay, so tell us what's going to be going on.
Whitney, what's happening is we have this old cotton oil seed mill, and we restored that. And over the years, we've developed a wonderful antique show that's called Market at the Mill. And it's more than antiques. It's antiques. It's fine art, jewelry, anything that you want, woodwork, metalwork. It's a shopper's delight.
That's great. Now, where are these local people mixed with some out-of-towners, or how's that work?
Oh, yeah. No, we have a thriving antique industry right there in Euros, but these are people from all over the South, not just in Louisiana, but Mississippi, Texas, all come to display. 50,000 square feet of items, and it's a wonderful event.
You all done a beautiful job of really preserving history and using it going forward.
Absolutely. You know, New Roads, it's more than just a sleepy little town. Now, there's a lot of family fun, a lot of things that people can do. We have a new thing this year also. It's on Thursday night, we call a preview party.
So you come in Thursday, you pay one fee, you get food, you get to a style show that night, live music, and it's a wonderful event. And you get your to come back all from the Friday and Saturday as well.
Oh,
So,
that's great. And really, I know Friday and Saturday, it's so affordable. What?
$5.
Yeah, $5 gets you in.
Yeah, it gets you in. It's worth seeing because of how we transform that mill. So it's a good thing to come. Obviously, we have we're going to have food and music and fun there, shopping, but also all over town. You know, the other shops and our restaurants will be open. It's a nice weekend to get out and explore.
So come Thursday night and join on Friday and Saturday as well.
Absolutely. You know, come Thursday night, you get preview, you get, first dibs at all the great stuff. But come back on Friday and Saturday because, those vendors have a way of restocking.
They do. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You think they have the best thing ever, and the next day you see more.
That's exactly right.
And it's about to be a really big time for you all in New Roads, right? I mean, you have so many water sports and activities. And so once the weather gets and spring hits, it seems like that you all just catch fire.
Well, I like to say when all roads lead to new roads in in the spring and in the summer. We have so many wonderful events from this event at the market at the mill in April. May we'll have a citywide garage sale that people come to, different kind of venue. Then, of course, Memorial Day weekend, we kick off a summer of fun, and there's paddle boarding, there's skiing, fishing, all kind of events. Our famous 4th of July boat parade.
Mm-hmm.
So all summer long, it's a great time to come to New Roads.
That's great, Mayor. Well, okay, thanks for the invitation. I have not seen the mill, so there's one more reason for me to come in addition to shopping.
You need to come on and do that.
All right, great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks so much. Stay with us. Much more Weekends with Whitney coming up right after this.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
Discover your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors. With 10,000 square feet of inspired interiors, it's easy to bring beauty home. Create a unique interior that reflects your exterior. Translate what you love into where you live. For 60 years, Dixon Smith has refined the art of style, space, and comfort. You're a work of art. Your home should be too. Embrace your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors in the heart of Baton Rouge. Discover Dixon.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ann Zedlitz, board-certified dermatologist, laser specialist, and an expert injector. Not all skin types are the same, so not all treatment should be the same. Are you looking to reduce fine lines and wrinkles? We can do that. Scarring from acne or injuries? Or what about stretch marks? Tired of dealing with rosacea or uneven pigmentation? Are you looking to lift or tighten your skin? We can do that too. Come see me and my team of experts here at Z Dermatology.
New location now in Prairieville.
Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Some of the best crab cakes anywhere are found right here in Baton Rouge at the Creole's restaurant. We are joined this morning by Chef Chance to show us how it's done. Great to see you.
Good to see you as well.
They're always a favorite, right? Crab cakes.
Yeah, and they seem to be a pretty big hit with everybody that's had them. Ever since I've been a part of this establishment, they've been some of the best sellers here.
Oh, good. Well, I think part of your key is there's not a lot of fillers, right?
No, there's really not. Most crab cakes, there's at least a light dusting of breadcrumbs on the top and bottom of them. Usually a big wet mix. It's filled in it as well. Here, all we do is fresh Louisiana blue crab and just a ravigot sauce in the middle, just to bind it all together.
Let's show them how it's done.
All right.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, we keep these little oval molds here, and we just fill it all the way up. Make sure it's packed on both sides.
And what was the sauce you mentioned that you put in there?
It's a ravigot sauce. It has fresh dill weed, sriracha sauce, a little bit of mayonnaise, and then some sambal, which is just it's got like a little red pepper Thai sauce.
Oh, okay. Great. And you cook it in, well, I guess you almost have to, because since you don't have any filler to hold it together, that
Yeah, the mold
mold
will
does it.
get a nice sear on each side, and then that'll hold it together.
Yum. How long do you do this each side?
Usually it'll be about a minute and a half to 2 minutes on each side. Really, you're just looking for a nice golden sear and to get it hot about halfway up through the mold. And then whenever you turn it over, it'll heat it all the way through and give it a nice sear on the bottom side as well.
Wonderful. Now that mold is what, about 3 inches? Is that correct?
I'd say it's about maybe 2 inches.
Oh, 2.
Kinda
Okay.
1.75 inches, 2 inches.
Okay. So if I wanted to make one of those at home, I'm trying to figure out.
One way to do it, they actually have molds that you could buy at places like Sur La Table, Williams Sonoma, like that. And you can actually just bend it in a little bit and make it that oval shape. And then whenever you're done, just bend it right back out.
Okay, good. I do that.
At least that's what I do at home.
Okay.
The trick to it, whenever you go to flip it, is doing it real quick or using a spatula.
Oh, gotcha.
Because otherwise, all the filling's gonna fall out, and it's gonna be a mess.
Are we cooking the crab meat or are we searing it?
We're searing it. The crab meat's already cooked all the way through.
Great.
All right. All right. So now I think we're ready to plate up.
Okay.
So we take it, slide it onto the spatula, let that hold tight for a second. For our plate up, we got a traditional New Orleans style remoulade sauce. Just want to give the squirt bottle a good squirt. What I do is I take a kitchen towel,
Okay.
fold it up, sit on each side just to give it
Oh, yeah.
pretty much to coat one side of the plate. Then we want to take our traditional beurre blanc sauce, which is French for a white butter sauce. Do the same thing with this sauce. All that does is kind of just spreads it out a little bit.
Right.
It's easy little method.
Yeah.
All right. Take a crab cake over, and the trick to plating it up and getting it out of the mold is just sliding it right off.
Oh,
Fold it up, and then it slides right out of the mold. And like any good food, you want to garnish it just to bring out the presentation. Here we use a little beet garnish, mixture of gold and red beets.
Oh, pretty.
This goes right over the top.
Oh, that looks divine. Okay, let's try it out. Oh, can't believe I haven't had crab cakes here either. Woohoo! Oh, well, I'm getting a lot of the garnish. Okay, this is gonna be messy. Oh, wow. And that remoulade sauce, and just pure crab meat, That other sauce, delicious too. Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's one of our favorites.
I know why. Thanks so much.
A pleasure.
I'm not supposed to talk with my mouth full, so why don't you say more weekends with Whitney after this?
More weekends with Whitney when we get right back.
Thanks, baby.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
Studio 7 is redefining how Pilates is offered to the Baton Rouge community with top-of-the-line equipment, expert instructors, and classes offered every hour of the day till 8 p.m. at night. And it's not just Pilates that we offer. We offer intense cardio classes like piloxing, booty bar, which is cardio and strengthening, and what we're most proud of is our circuit class. We call it Circuit 7. It was designed by Liz, incorporating the most diverse and important properties of a complete workout. It's the reformer, it's cardio, intense bursts of cardio. It's TRX on the suspension bands. She incorporates the bar. She works everything, and it's a game changer.
Thank you for spending part of your Easter with us here on Weekends with Whitney. Remember, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And this week, we're giving away some swag bags, so check in often. And if you want that delicious crab cake recipe, head to my website, weekendswithwhitney.net. If you have a great story idea you'd like to see on the show, you can share that with me there as well. Have a great afternoon. Right now, we leave you with some fun ways to spend any beautiful spring afternoon.
Give the gift of fine dining. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering one card for four. Le Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, one card.